Hi, this is MJ from Linus Publications. Welcome to the 10th House briefing for August 10th. We've got a few things to cover today. Not too many things I talked about this week mostly. And this is quick summations, sort of give you the forest rather than the trees. First thing we're going to look at is Charlie Kirk. He's a young conservative voice that has a nice following. And we did his chart this week, and he's got quite a bit of Mercury. He's got quite a bit of Scorpio. He's got both Mercury and Mars in Scorpio. So he can be rather biting when it comes to responding to people. But he probably also has done quite a bit of research. So he seems like he's knowledgeable. And it's not that he's, not embellishing it, but he also doesn't have like a Neptune square Mercury, so it's not like he's a liar. He is making a very big outreach to the younger generation, college-age students, so he does a lot of things on campuses. And he did come out about Epstein. He did sort of retract a little bit, but he's coming out again. So we'll need to see where he goes with that. But that's sort of interesting that he's sort of taking on Trump to a degree, but he's doing it nicely. He's actually got a nice platform. It's a nice setup. He seems to have a good audience. And that's one of the reasons why I did his chart. I wanted to see, does he have potential for the future? And you know what? Yeah, he's got quite a bit of potential. He can actually create his audience. He can get more of what he wants to get done. And he wants, I think, a following. I was debating whether or not he wants to move into politics, but I'm not sure if he's quite there yet. The only issue I was seeing is whether his following is going to be more cult-like. But so far, it doesn't seem it. It's not like his followers are like the MAGA. So that's actually pretty good. So where do we see him? Actually, in about a year and a half, I think he's actually going to be able to expand out his platform. So he's going to be, a good conservative voice out there. I mean, I'm all for having different voices, just as long as they're honest voices. So definitely, take a look at where he is in about a year and a half. I think he's going to be, definitely moving up. He's going to attract more people. And especially, doing the college scene is quite a big deal. So let's take a look at another one. And that is, the Trump-Putin meeting. Okay. So let's just come back to Charlie Kirk for a minute. So does he have power? Yes, he has power now. Is it increasing or decreasing? It's increasing. So I expect that he's going to be in a better position in about a year and a half. So someone to watch from the conservative side. So let's take a look at Trump and Putin, their scheduled meeting this week. So what's happening here is that you've got Mars, and I did a chart with Trump, Putin, and that day's transits. Some of the things that's happening is that the Mars position is going to start triggering Trump's deception, meaning he's going to be lying. He's going to be exaggerating. And it's not a very good thing to have in a diplomatic situation. Now, the sun is actually going to be energizing Putin's power, but it's going to be increasing Trump's aggression, meaning that Trump is not going to be in a good position because he's going to be aggressive versus Putin's going to be more in control there. Now, Putin's Mars is actually sitting on Trump's moon, and it's going to be activated. So I wouldn't think it too far-fetched to think that Putin is going to sort of like try and get, Trump a little bit off balance. And I think he's going to be able to do that. So there's going to be some change and tension. Saturn is going to be restrictive to Trump being able to get what he wants. And overall, and go back and watch the video. There's a lot more information in that. But overall, who's going to come out of that as a winner? Putin is. Trump is, again, He's not really going to be in as control as he should be, and he's not going to know the facts, and that's nothing new. So who's coming out of that one with more power? Putin is. Who loses it? Trump. So next one, let's take a look at Netanyahu. This is. So what I'm seeing in his chart, and again, we have a whole video on that, he's not being truthful about Gaza, and that's sort of to be expected. And Gaza is a neighboring sort of country, a neighboring entity. What's happening is that Netanyahu wants to just expand. He wants to, take control over that area. And the people are protesting against that. Now, he does have a frustration over the limits. He wants to make sure that Hamas does not come up again. But at some point, this is just becoming, oh my God, it's horrible. People are just starving. So is anyone going to be stopping Netanyahu pretty soon? No. He's got the power right now. It's not increasing. It's not decreasing. He is not telling the truth about a lot of things, so that's unfortunate. So all in all, he's going to be staying in the same level, same position, so he has power. So let's take a look at the next one. Robert Kennedy. The thing with Robert Kennedy, and the reason I did him is that he's sort of interesting in that he's not a conventional. He has conventional, things in his chart, but he's got Uranus sort of bouncing off of that, making everything unconventional. He does have a big interest in wellness and health. Unfortunately, he also has the Neptune that's squaring his Mercury, just like Trump does. So in this case, he's going to be, falling for, the conspiracy theories. He's not going to be telling the truth. And when I say he's not telling the truth, it's not the truth as we know it. It may be a truth to him. He may think it's a truth because he doesn't understand how scientific progress is made, how you make sure that you have repeatability. So I'm not sure if he understands all that. Now, he has a lot of good thoughts. He wants to get rid of dyes, cut down on the sugars. So the thing here is he actually, attracts two different crowds. He attracts the conspiracy people, and he attracts the people that are concerned about what they're eating. Now, the problem is with the conspiracy people, he's deciding to get rid of vaccines. Okay? So we don't know where he's going to go next. And as I noted, there are a few things. He's got some transits coming up and some challenging angles, but it looks like he's going to actually get some more power coming up. Next year, he's going to have some good angles. He's going to come out with some policy changes and stuff. So I worry about those. But in general, he's not losing power. He's, at this point, gaining power. So he's someone to watch for next year. Now let's take a look at the last one I have. And by the way, this video I did earlier today, but it seems to be hung up in the YouTube checking process for copyrights. Not sure why. There's something in there that could have been copyrighted. But you can see it actually if you go to the page and select it. You just won't get a notification. And this is on Putin and Zelensky. So I wanted to get an updated look at where they are right now. And from looking at the charts, we have Putin that actually has two things where, his vision really appears to be overinflated. He's not being realistic. He doesn't have resources. It looks like there may be money issues that could be causing some restrictions in military movements. So I wonder if he's got the money for the military, if he's able to get military in. So I have a lot of questions. I think money in general is a concern. Now, both Putin and Zelensky face resource issues, but they're coming from different ends. Zelensky faces them because the United States is the one that would be providing the weapons, supposedly to the European Union, which is them providing them to Zelensky. Now, what may be happening here is that after this meeting that Trump has with Putin, Trump's going to say no more assistance. But I think, and I said this earlier in the year before anyone was saying it, I think European Union is going to step up again because this is in their backyard. I mean, if they don't stop this, who's going to stop it? Now, there is one really big positive in Zelensky's chart, and that looks like things that he wants to have happen are going to happen. And that's going to be coming up shortly. So it looks like he understands that he's not going to be able to get the resources or some of them because he knows that it's coming from the United States and that Trump is just changeable about everything. But this other one, the Allied support, is just really something very good that could turn out to be positive for Zelensky. So let's leave it on that positive note. I hope you enjoyed this roundup of the week. And again, we'll do it next week. And this is the 10th house briefing. Have a good one. Bye now.